This is the inside of the Adria Adora 613 UT Thames. If I firstly move to the master switch, I can turn the 12 volt on, just here. Beside it we have water pump on and off. We need the water pump on so we can get water out of the taps and fill the boiler if it has been drained down. We then have light switches all the way down. We then have a main socket, and we can also turn the rear lights of the caravan on and off just here as well. Very handy at night time. TV plug-in points just here. 2 USB charge points, and instead of turning all the lights off individually, you can just do it on the main lights just here and turn them all off in one go. We then have the voltage of the leisure battery, and then right at the very top here is the Aldi control panel for the heating and hot water. On and off just here. On initial startup, you will see it's letting us know that we have main supply. It's giving us an internal temperature of the caravan and an external temperature. If I now press menu, it will take us to its basic functions. In this menu just here, you'll see that we have heating at the top, just literally plus and minus. Pick whatever temperature you would like it to be inside the caravan, and it will go all the way up to 30 degrees and drop all the way down to 5 degrees for frost protection. After that, we have a little picture of a shower head, and this is for hot water. So currently hot water off, hot water on, and then hot water in boost mode. The boost mode was mainly designed for if there's going to be more than one of you having showers in quick succession of each other. If you do perform the boost on your hot water and the heating is running, it will turn the heating off as it needs to use that extra power. So even though now I've turned the heating on, turned the hot water on, the system isn't actually doing anything yet because we now need to give it a power source. So if you're connected to main supply, you can run it on mains, and you can run it on 1 kilowatt, 2 kilowatts or 3 kilowatts. This is all just dependent on the ampage of the site you're on. If you do not have main supply, you can run on gas with the little picture of the flame just here. And if you have both power sources available, you can actually run in dual fuel. Dual fuel is very handy, especially in the winter months if you want to get up to temperature nice and quickly. We have A here, which is just for activated functions, and that is just because this particular caravan has a room temperature sensor. It's easiest just to leave it in auto. And now if I press the cog just here, we will then go into the settings menu. So firstly we have a moon and a sun, and firstly we have night mode on and off just here. Set the temperature you would like it to be for night time, and then whether it's for literally all days of the week or just individual, and when you would like it to come on, and then when you would like it to turn off. This one here will just invert the backlight. This one here will tell the boiler that you do not want any hot water for that particular period of time. Very handy if you are wild camping, because that way you're not wasting gas heating hot water whilst you're asleep. And then this one here will switch the room temperature sensor further to the rear of the caravan. Handy for sleeping at night. Next, we virtually just have the same again, but for the daytime. Prioritises what the system prioritises in using when in that dual fuel mode. So at the moment it favours main supply over gas. So if you are running in dual fuel, it will only use gas as it's required. If you are on a very low amp site, you could have it so it uses more gas and less electric. Brightness settings just here. Again, we have the room temperature sensor. If you're going to be using the night mode and the day mode, you need to set the time of day, day of week, etc. just in here. If I now arrow down, most of these can only be accessed by the workshop. This one is called Antimicrobial. If you have this activated, basically in the middle of the night the boiler will come on, heat up rapidly and kill off any bacteria that may be in the system. Temperature offset for the internal and external temperatures. High altitude mode, so if you are using the caravan 1,000 meters or more above sea level, activate this to make the system run more efficiently. Key beeps on and off. Once basically delayed start and stop to the system, so instead of having multiple timers you can just have it so the system fires up at say Monday at 7 in the morning and then turns itself back off again on Friday at midday. Pump settings for the heating, just literally leave it set to thermal. Full factory reset, so if there is a problem with the boiler you can just reset it. External start, you do have to have additional SIM boxes added if you wanted to control this via an app. Language, service, again more for the workshop, but it will let you know what everything is up to. Installed accessories, so you can add extra bits in here if you wish. If I now just move across to the bench seat just here and remove the cushions. If I now lift up, you will see that we have underneath here the back of the battery box just there. And then if I then just undo here, we have the battery charger and the 12 volt fuses just here. So if anything is not working on 12 volt, just check to see if you have blown a fuse. We then have the fuse for the solar panel, and the solar panel regulator just sits here. You do not need to do anything with this solar panel regulator. It will just smart charge the leisure battery as it's required. And then we also have the control board for the power touch motor mover just here. Tucked down here we have the pressure switch for the submersible pump. So if you find that when you're closing a tap the pump is massively overrunning, you can just slightly adjust it on the top here. Always do very tiny adjustments, or otherwise you may throw it completely out of sync. And then also you'll find that there's a grey lever here as well. This can be used in conjunction with draining the boiler down, etc., for either travel or winterization. This will help release any airlocks on the pipework and make it drain down much more efficiently. Underneath the other bench seat you will find storage. And if I now move across to the wardrobe, you will see that we have the header tank for the Aldi heating system just here. Always make sure that the fluid level is between the minimum and the maximum. Always take your reading once the heating is up to temperature, as it will expand in the tank. If it does need topping up, you can do this yourself just by removing the collar just here, unscrewing the top and just taking the little submersible pump out and then topping up. If you are going to do this, make sure that you do use the correct Aldi top-up solution. The boiler itself just sits all underneath here, and the drain for the boiler is just here. Literally just flap it up to drain the water out of the boiler, and again you'll see that we have another one of those grey levers to help drain off the pipework. Obviously, if you are just draining down for towing, I would suggest just opening up this one here. That will be sufficient. But if you are fully winterizing that you also then go around and open up all your grey levers as well. When it comes to refilling, just make sure everything is flapped over as they are at the moment. Drop your submersible into your aqua roll, turn the water pump on, and then it will begin to reprime the boiler. You'll see that we have a gas isolation tap just here, and that is for the boiler itself. It's in the on position, and quite frankly it can stay like that. I always say if you do smell gas in the caravan, go to the source and turn off the gas bottle. We then also in here have the television aerial. So we have the digital amplifier just here for it, on and off on the top. Control the boost just on the dial here. And this particular digital amplifier comes with a signal finder in it, so the greener the light in the center, the better the signal is. So as you can see, I get a very good signal here because the aerial isn't even put up at the moment. To raise the mast, undo the collar, and then just undo here as well, and then just push the mast up and then get it into the position that you require. This little green window here represents the back of the aerial, so you know roughly which way it's pointing. Once you've got it where you need it, then just relock into place. H stands for horizontal. You can flip the aerial into a vertical position for additional tuning if required, and you just need to turn the tail just here to do that. Always make sure that you are back to horizontal for travel, and that the aerial is down, and that the red dot is facing towards you. You will also find in here the mains trip switches. So if anything is not working on main supply, just check to see if you've tripped at this point here. Freestanding table just in here, and then you will find the microwave just above the sink. This will work when you are connected to main supply. Quick start, stop just here, power settings, defrost, etc. Obviously timer set, or clock set just here I should say. Oven and hob. For the hob, just push in, twist and push the igniter. Beneath that is the grill and the oven. So with the grill, again, just push in, twist, and push the igniter just here. More gas isolation taps in here for the hob and the cooker. With the Thetford fridge on and off just here. This is an automatic model, so if I now hold this grey button in and I arrow to A for auto and then press it again, which would then move across to the temperature control, and then again press the grey button. As long as you're on A for auto, it will find the best power source. So because we're currently connected to main supply, it's put us onto mains with a little picture of the 2-pin plug just here. If I was to now run outside and pull the mains lead out, it would then automatically attempt to fire itself up onto gas, and then as soon as you hitch yourself up to your tow vehicle, start the engine, it will then automatically go over to 12 volt maintain to keep the fridge cold whilst on the move. As you can see, the display will always disappear after a few seconds, but you can see that the unit is still on with the green light just there. Just tap the grey button to bring it back up again, and as you already saw, to change anything, just literally hold the button in. So if I wanted to, I could manually put it onto mains, manually put it onto 12 volt maintain, or manually put it onto gas. Gas isolation tap for the fridge just there. We then have the fixed rear bed, and this section here can come up. And then these sections can also come up on both sides to allow you to sit up in bed. Through to the washroom, we have the shower cubicle just here. Do make sure that the shower screen is fully secure for travel. We then have the basin and the toilet. To open to the cassette, just slide the grey lever across, blue button to flush, and then level indicator just here to let you know when the cassette needs emptying, and then close back up again. If this has been left open and you try to remove the cassette from the outside, it will not come out. So if you do feel resistance, just make sure that nobody has left it open. In the overhead locker at the front, just here, we have the radio on and off just here, CD at the top here, and eject here. Change tracks or search for radio stations just here. Volume control, do have an auxiliary plug-in point just here, and then to get into its menu, just hold the menu button in and then just navigate on the volume, and anything you want to select, just push the volume button in. Back off again, just up here. The front bed is nice and easy to make. It's just a matter of pulling the sections both out so they meet in the middle, and then just dropping the cushions into place. And as you can now see, once the cushions have been dropped into place and this infill has been inserted as well, it makes into a nice large double bed. As you can see, the front table just folds up like so.